Still learning how to fish or wondering how to make Lucent with Lifeskills and Throne and Liberty? Welcome back to the channel all about life skilling. My name is Teddy, and today I'll be showing you everything that you'll need to know about gathering, crafting, cooking, fishing, that ever so adorable Amitoi Expedition. This video is going to be packed full of juicy information, so if you find this helpful, be sure to leave a like, sub, turn on all those notifications, and without wasting any more time, let's get into life skilling and Throne and Liberty. When you first start Throne and Liberty, the game is pretty vague about the life skills, with just having a brief quest line and nothing more, but don't worry, this guide will fill in most blanks starting out with the life skilling quest. Oh, and before you ask, no, the life skilling experience is not counted towards character leveling. Only the life skill that you're choosing to do will count, so you won't be able to level up your cooking in hopes to level up your character too. Now, when you progress further into the story, Chapter 4 introduces you to adventurer Pro Percy, a dapper-looking penguin over here in Venta Village. His first quest requires you to start an Amitoi Expedition. This can be done by hitting the Amitoi symbol on the hotbar or hitting the symbol next to the minimap. This will bring the option to teleport to the Amitoi house, where all the fun happens. Inside the house, you can replay any memory from all the completed story quests, but the reason we're all here is the book here. The expedition book brings up the information for all the expeditions we'll be sending our Amitoi out on. First thing you'll notice is the world map here. We can send our Amitoi out to one of the zones listed, which has our own level your Amitoi expedition has to meet. The region trait that your Amitoi is, meaning the Plains Amitoi will do better in the Plains region than the Ruins Amitoi would. In here also has the materials the region will give us listed at the bottom, and lastly, all the Amitois that we can send out. Taking a look at the duration we can send them out for. This is a little confusing at first with thinking more is better, but not exactly for certain cases. 1 hour gives normal materials, 2 hours give more cooking materials, 4 hours will give green-gray materials and more abyssal tokens, and the 8 hours doubles the abyssal tokens while increasing a little bit of the materials. Adding more Amitoi to the expedition will increase the rewards you get, with 2 Amitoi being able to increase the grade of the loot you get for the lowest duration, and 3 being able to give the most rewards back per tier. When you're able to use extra Amitoi, the sweet spot for looking for those cooking ingredients will be sending 3 Amitoi out for the 2 hours for the cooking ingredients, while using 8 hours with 3 Amitois or more is going to be the best that you can do if you're going for the abyssals. Waiting isn't a problem, and you want a lot of the materials back. I suggest playing around with the duration and the amount of Amitoi you're sending out to see the better options and what works out best for you. Now, before you can start sending out the Amitois, let's take a look at them since there is a lot of information that will help out on our expeditions. Starting out as a free player, you are given 1 free Amitoi as a part of the story quest, and the paid players are given an extra 2. To get more Amitoi, you have the option to check where to obtain any of these Amitoi. These can be obtained from quests all the way down to guild raid bosses, so I suggest taking a look to see which one you want and where to find them. It's not just the Amitoi's region you'll have to pay attention to when hunting them down. Amitoi also have a PAL synergy bonus that will help your expedition out when sending the combo. Hitting the PAL synergy option, you can see all the different combinations, which Amitoi are needed for the combination, and you even have the option to choose where to find each Amitoi here in the window. Now, once you do have your Amitoi you want and you're ready, sending out the Amitoi can be done by either hitting send or by choosing another that you want to add. But in order to remove the starting Amitoi, you must select that first starting Amitoi to remove it, or selecting any other Amitoi will simply add them onto the expedition. When the expedition is complete, however, the Amitoi icon next to your minimap will alert you when it's time to head back to the house and claim your rewards. Interacting with the book once more will now have the option to claim your rewards. You'll receive a random amount of any of the items randomly selected. If you don't get the items you wanted the first time, keep trying. But just keep in mind, expeditions are the best way to get those harder to get cooking materials like salt. Now that you've done your first expedition, all you have to do is return back to Pro Percy to get a brand new training fishing rod. And the next quest. This is going to be the hardest of the 3 quests, needing just 8 fish. Yeah, I know, it doesn't sound that bad until you start fishing. Equipping a fishing rod can be done like any piece of gear along with the bait. More bait can be bought from the contract coin vendor, fishing up fish and turning them into the fish bait. Bait can also be gathered from logs, not to mention we can kill certain monsters for bait. And for those who either lost their rod or trying to make a better one, then come over here to the Sundries vendor where you can initiate the crafting to upgrade your bamboo fishing rod into the steel fishing rod and then further into the monster bone fishing rod. With your rod and bait ready, now it's time to start fishing. To start fishing, once your rod is equipped, it can be done by hitting the fishing rod icon at the bottom of your hotbar. Next to this is the bait that can be changed on the fly. Fishing is extremely annoying and will take a couple tries before you get the hang of it, so if you fail the first time, keep trying. Hitting F, cast a line, and after a few seconds, a small shadow for a small fish or a bigger shadow for a bigger fish will show up around the lure. A few seconds will go by, then the fish will bite, and you'll have the option to snap the fish by hitting Q. After you hit the snap, this will damage the fish's stamina a portion before even starting the fishing minigame. Once in the fishing minigame, you have 3 options: pulling the lure out, reeling left with A, or reeling right with D. The fish will either move left or right, and your job is to reel in the fish in the opposite direction. Try not to lose out on any of your stamina, or you will lose the fish. Once the fish starts glowing red, the line is stressed, and the fish has a chance of escaping. I'm not exactly sure if we have to stop reeling in our fish, go with the fish, or just watch the fish escape, but keep that in mind when you're out there fishing. After each fish is caught, you'll gain fishing experience. The higher you level your fishing, the higher chance of catching better fish, materials for better rods, and just the easier time catching fish. Finally, after 8 fish are caught, we can simply just return back to Pro Percy to start the next life skilling quest. This is going to be cooking. Cooking has to be one of the more complex life skills with needing several different ways to get the materials, but once you get the hang of it, cooking is a breeze. Percy's last quest requires 1 of 4 fish dishes to be made, but in order to do this, we will have to level up cooking. Heading over to any town's cooking oven opens up the cooking UI. In here, we have all of the recipes we can start cooking. Starting out, we're not going to have many, but leveling cooking is easy to unlock more early on. It's just getting the materials, however, that can take a little bit of time if you're not lucky. Some dishes can use higher grade ingredients, which will increase the greater success rate, which gives the dish better stats, and more importantly, allows you to place the dish on the auction house. Cooking the ingredients allows you to see where to obtain them, with it being mainly 3 ways. The first way is killing monsters. This is going to be the slowest way to get any of the cooking ingredients, but for some, it's the only way to get them. Checking each zone lets you see which monster and the items on their loot table. Some monsters will require either rain, night, or any other certain conditions. A symbol will be indicated on the item if there is any other requirements needed. Check around the zones to see where to get the ingredients, and some do have lower or mid areas, so optimize the monsters to your level to get the most experience, or when you're doing those guild contracts. The next way is with the Amitoi Expeditions. Shocker. Each zone does have a different cooking material depending on the zone, and can in some cases be the best way to get certain materials. Remember, the higher your expedition level, the better zones that are available and the different ingredients that can be obtained per day. Another way to get those ingredients is with gathering, a life skill that's barely mentioned but comes into play with all the other life skills. Unlike other MMOs, gathering and the life skills, Throne and Liberty's life skills are extremely bare bone, but we're able to gather plants for herbs or mushrooms for cooking, and logs for fruit. Each zone will have ingredients that can be gathered, so check your cooking recipe and see where they can be gathered. The last way to obtain cooking ingredients is just with buying them from the Sundries vendor next to all the ovens in any town. The vendors normally have foods that we can normally buy, and they do have select ones that can only be bought per day. These are going to be the harder ones like honey or rye, which can be obtained from the starting zone. With all the ingredients ready, it's time to start cooking. The actual cooking process is extremely easy, and knowing what dishes to make is extremely easier, as long as you have the ingredients, of course. Each dish will have their own effects listed to show you what they do and how much experience they'll give, so choosing the dishes you need or the ones you want to level up faster is simple. Hitting the cook button will show you the cooking animation, and when it's done, it will show all of the success rates of the dishes that you made. Either this can be normal, great, or critical great, which will be way higher quality for some dishes. Any dish made with a great success or higher can be listed and sold on the auction house to make money. Leveling cooking will increase the chances of better dishes, not to mention unlocks more recipes for us to cook. I'd take a look at the auction house to see which recipes you want to focus on and slowly start to gather the ingredients for it while you're leveling up your cooking, so you don't have to spend too much time later on down the line. Returning back to Pro Percy completes the intro to the life skills, but there's more to learn. Really fast, comment down below if you've been enjoying the game or if you're still waiting to play. I've been playing non-stop. It's been a great game, but right now I'm still trying to figure out how to do the next topic, which is going to be crafting. Crafting is pretty straightforward with needing the materials that can be gathered around on stones or rocks, killing monsters, and can be crafted up a tier to make better weapons. Green grade and blue grade can be crafted up at Venta Village, while higher blue grade and purple grade has to be made over at Stoneguard Castle. Unfortunately, when it comes to actually crafting gear, making the lithographs will require you to have the item and hitting the lithograph option here in your inventory. Once in here, you can select the item. It will require you to have a lithograph book, but once ready, you can pay your solent, convert it into a lithograph, and you can try your luck at recrafting to get a great success. I'm not sure exactly if that works out. Let me know down below if that's somewhere close to it. But I hope this helps you get started with the basics of life skilling in Throne and Liberty. This game is very early on in its life, so there's still so much more to come, and with life skills feeling so bare bone, I feel like they can add a lot to it. Leveling up cooking and fishing might be worth the time and the effort in the long run. I'm not exactly sure. Even if it's just to farm the Lucent, these life skills do play an important part in the gear progress, monster killing, and just making money. Like I said, I've been enjoying Throne and Liberty, so be sure to check out the channel for more Throne and Liberty content to come, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Keep gathering out there, everyone.